I was running the breakout group on education and NGI, and we were using these bricks here. So I brought a sample of the bricks to talk about. So the first one that I have is on identity, safety and privacy. So when we were talking about education, we were looking at it from two aspects really. How education could help NGI, so what skills citizens and workers would need, and also how NGI might change the nature of education in schools and universities. So if you think about children, so what do children need to know today for the internet of the future? So a number of things are, well, what is that identity going to be like? There'll be their physical identity, but also their online identity. In a sense, every statement they make online could in principle stay there forever. So they need to think about that, their persona, they need to think about safety, they may be seeing materials that are not age appropriate, for example, and their privacy. They need to know how to understand terms and conditions. I have another brick here with activism and hacking, and this is really how the internet has changed the world. So if you want to be a full citizen in the future, there'll be opportunities to be an active player, to promote your favorite ideological topics and to activate those. So how do you start communities on the internet? How do you argue for certain positions and moving those? In the world of the future, people will change jobs very often, and for sure the knowledge that graduates have when they leave university will not be enough for the next 40 years. So children will need to learn how to learn. How do you learn on the internet? How do you use various resources to learn new skills? Moving along, why is it that at the moment we give the same education to all the children in the same class or in the same year or the same year university? So with the internet we have opportunities to customize education and to do that globally. So every student could get their own individual path no matter where they are in the world. So customized education globally. Then I have another brick here with crowdsourced research. So this is the idea of using crowdsourcing in your learning and in your research. So students could come up with bright ideas and then they could just push them out on the internet for others to do. So bring up a community using the internet to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So there's only 24 hours in a day. And so if the children are going to, and university students are going to learn new skills, then there are certain things we will have to stop teaching. So what do we no longer need to teach on the internet? So there are various things that we can think of. Some of these will be very controversial. So just some ideas. So there was a story recently that the University of Cambridge is not going to use handwritten examinations anymore. So because they can no longer read the handwriting of the students. So do we need to teach handwriting? I've heard professors say that we may no longer need to teach writing. Maybe with speech input, that will come in, basic maths. We for sure don't need to teach log tables. Do we need to teach lots of facts? Every fact is available in Wikipedia or through Google. So then we can think about some things that we no longer need to teach, because in the end they're only various technologies for a certain context, and the context is changing. So I'm on to my final two bricks. So this one says aim for the moon, with a little picture of the moon on. And this is really thinking, if you think of the Wright brothers. So the Wright brothers were the first people to fly with a certain technology, and they were somehow a step towards going to the moon, except going to the moon was a different set of technologies. So we may be in the age of the Wright brothers today. So we're going to teach children today a certain set of technologies, but they shouldn't be limited by our horizons, because their horizons will be bigger compared to ours, in the same way that the moon is not the same as the Wright brothers flying across. And then finally, as with all internet presentations, I have a cat. So a picture of a cat, because that's one of the popular images on the internet. So this was thinking about some of the negative things that happened on the internet and how we may learn from those and leverage those for education. So a couple of examples is there's clickbait. So you're on a website and there are things that you're tempted to click on, and there are things like ransomware. Someone says, I've taken over your computer, you need to pay me some money, otherwise you no longer get access to your files. So in an educational setting, maybe we could have fun versions of those where we say, okay, I've now locked your computer until you can solve this maths puzzle. You have to look up, find the knowledge, generate it. When you've solved the puzzle or the problem, then you can carry on. Maybe there's clickbait. We say, okay, before you can look at this video, you need to learn some material and pass some simple tests. So overall, it was an extremely exciting day, and I think there were some really quite visionary concepts that came out.